Let's talk Golden State Warriors. Welcome back, and I hope you're excited. A little bit more than 24 hours for the first time we will see the Warriors back on the court this season. It's still preseason, but it will be exciting. They are playing tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time against the Clippers. And that game will be in Hawaii. They're still there for the training camp. We are talking about this today, and they will have the first preseason game. If you are in the Bay Area, you can watch that game in the local NBC Sports. If you're not and you have the NBA TV, you will also be television there. So I hope you're as me. I'm looking for this game. We're going to get the first hints of what Steve Kerr wants to do with this team. So let's cover everything today, and let's talk about the training camp and how is it going. They already are in the third day of training camp yesterday. Today is the last before the first preseason game. Before we jump in, please don't forget to subscribe. We are heading to 8,000 subscribers. I really appreciate you being here, following me, helping, supporting the channel, and I hope you keep enjoying it and give your feedback. Leave your feedback in the comments as well. So there are not major and all those rumors going on anymore, right? We're at training camp. The team is there all together, bonding, which is amazing. I have said here that before. I think they brought the family, so they're having this time to know each other, know the new guys, Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson. We saw a lot of videos of Kyle Anderson and Draymond Green interacting. I think they both gonna be key players for our defensive system. So it's great. Buddy Hield training shoots. He's gonna be in the rotation. So I took a few points that I want to bring to you here. We mentioned before that it would be a major discovery time for the Warriors, right? Steve Kerr trying to fit the rotation, the minutes of each one. The Warriors don't have a second all-star level player at this point, or a scorer, because I think someone can debate that Draymond Green an all-star level, but a second scorer to replace Klay Thompson. But we invest in having, I would say, an average to above average roster in the depth. When you look at the depth of the Warriors, like our bench guys, whoever stays there, there will be a high-level player compared to other benches, which is great. So, but then the challenge becomes like finding your style of game when you have different combinations of the floor, and that's what Steve Kerr is working, and he has said that multiple times. So we saw things that the Warriors need to find out, right? How we fit Looney now that he changed his body, like that he's leaner. He wants to shoot more. So we saw in the practice yesterday, 2 days ago, he actually finished the practice with a 3-point shooting from the corner. So the Warriors is trying to fit all those guys together. Jonathan Kuminga is playing really well. Moses Moody came with a high level as well. So the Warriors are trying to fit everything. There are two major things, well, major, not rumors, but two important things to highlight here that the Warriors have already found out. So first of all, Brandon Porzingis is defined to be the point guard that will be there when Curry is not on the floor. And that's also one of the things that we didn't know, right? Who is playing that point guard position when Curry is resting? And Brandon Porzingis, Steve Kerr already made that clear. He's that guy. And that's very interesting because I already start setting a path for the Warriors, at least if things works well, of what is the destiny of the franchise when Stephen Curry retires. So it's amazing to hear that and having that decision. There are still things that we need to figure out. Steve Kerr also confirmed that Draymond Green is in the starting lineup, but he doesn't know yet what position. Is he playing as a 2, as a 3, as a 4? We know that we have seen Draymond Green doing all those roles, but where he's going to fit, and he might fit in different positions according to the combinations, right? One thing that is clear, Steve Kerr said that already, is he doesn't want, and I also agree with that because I don't see why he would spend so much time playing as a center. So we already have Trace Jackson that is developing really well. We have Kevin Looney that is still trying to recover his space, so he intends to come and play better. So how we make, why would we make Draymond Green being a center for so long, right? Even Kyle Anderson could do that. But I think we should invest in the guys that are really center. So, because if you're not using them, so why keeping them on the roster, right? So I do think that Looney and Tracy Jackson, they need to fill that gap. But obviously, we have those backup like Kyle Anderson, like Draymond Green, in case things doesn't work. So that's also another thing. And then the second point that I want to bring that is a little bit disappointing, and it's someone needs to get this guy and throw him a layer of protection because everything is going on around him for the last 2 seasons is with Andrew Wiggins. So he has missed again practice. It's the 3rd day. He's actually there. He's just not involved with the other guys. He's sick. He's under the weather. So you can see in the footage that he's using mask. But he's already confirmed to be out for the first preseason game. And I do think that for the Warriors to be a contender with the roster that they have, it depends on Andrew Wiggins playing at the level or above what he played in 2022. So having this and Wiggins starting the season already missing games and missing practice and missing rotation time is not great. So that is tough for the Warriors. And it's sort of like what everyone is like, he hasn't been available in the past 2 seasons. We know all the personal problems. It is complicated. I understand. I'm not criticizing that, but it impacts the team, right? So I hope things get better for him. I hope he can come back, and for the other preseason games, he's there because he's going to have a key role. I do think that looking to the roster right now, Andrew Wiggins is a starter. So if he's playing at a good level, he's the starter. I think he has more potential, or he has achieved already a higher potential, a higher level than the other guys that we have there right now. So interesting to see how things break down with him, but it's going to be important. And don't miss the opportunity to get all kinds of Golden State Warriors products with discount. And if you are in the US, there is also free shipping. You can get t-shirts like this one. You can get hats. You can get any of those frames back there. Anything of the Golden State Warriors you will find there, and they are all official products. Just use the link, buy it, and you can get amazing discounts. The other things that we are seeing in the training, beyond all the obvious, Curry not missing multiple shots, Buddy Hield staying after practice and training shooting, which are important, is that Steve Kerr, and I mentioned that here before, the Warriors are trying to find an identity right now, right? Which is tricky because I think at some point we will have, we're going to need to insert plays at our game there, as we have, for example, when Kevin Durant was here, that we had some ISOs and stuff more than normal. We're going to need to figure out other style of playing mainly when Curry is not on the floor, that fits the other guys. But at the same time, he said during the interview that he wants the Warriors to keep being a high-level shooting team, which makes sense for me. At the end of the day, the NBA is not going back to 15 years ago, right? Curry changed the NBA, and the Splash Brothers changed the NBA for good. So we need to have that volume. And so if we're missing all those threes that Klay Thompson is shooting, we need Buddy Hield, we need Kuminga, Moody, all to fill that gap, right? Even Looney. But again, those guys are not a higher percentage three-point shooting, so they need to be assertive and they're not going to shoot all the in-motion step backs and off balance that Curry shoots, right? So we need to keep in mind that. And then the last point, that is still an open question, but we are starting to see more of this, and it's going to be interesting how Steve Kerr actually played that. We have saw a lot in the past, this struggle around Kuminga is because Curry was seeing him as a replacement for Draymond Green, as a 4. I actually think he needs to play as a 2, as a shooting guard. The problem is that he needs to get better on some things like the perimeter defense, his shooting percentage, his shooting selection, playmaking. He needs to keep evolving on those. But Draymond has mentioned that he believes that Kuminga should play on that position. Kuminga also mentioned that he should play as a 2 or 3. And I think Curry is trying to fit that, because I think he's probably the one that showed that can achieve a higher level at this point from our younger core. He had more time than Porzingis and Tracy Jackson, but compared to Moody, he has shown more so far. So obviously Curry is really believing on him. I think that's great start for the Warriors. Things seems to be going really well in Hawaii. Everyone's in a great mood. You can see the footage is like they are putting hard work, but it's also bonding, which is great. And I think, as I said before, the Warriors are in a great path. And let's not forget that. We will start the season, we will figure out our gaps, and then we will decide what we do. And we have the assets, we have what we need to pull a big trade. And we have a target for that, which I mentioned in this video here. If you want to know more, just watch it.